thank you.
You don't have to pay for the fare.
Appreciate it from your tax.
Proud Boys don't have to pay for the fare.
No, thank you.
That is insane. Proud Boys don't have to pay for the fare.
$3.
I'm sorry. I just need you to go out.
Oh, I have to pay for the fare, but they don't? Right. Is that the situation you're saying?
That's correct.
Apparently, if you're part of a violent white supremacist group, the NYPD won't make you pay the subway fare, which I think they call a friends and family discount. But these Proud Boys were leaving a drag storytime event in Queens. So the New York Daily News reported that only minutes earlier, the Proud Boys and supporters of the drag story hour clashed with police, reporting that pepper spray was used by some of the people who gathered to protest and counter-protest the controversial event that features people dressed in drag reading books to children. I'll just insert, it's only controversial because of the fascist narratives around, gender, sexuality, and the idea that seeing someone wearing a costume is sexualizing children. It's complete BS. This controversy is completely fabricated. But New York Daily News continued, and a statement released Monday afternoon, the NYPD said that to de-escalate the situation and prevent further violence, a decision was made to escort one group to the Jackson Heights subway station to remove that group from the area. Yeah, okay, sure. And I'm sure that they picked which group they were gonna remove, completely randomly. It just flipped a coin. Definitely. But Sandy Nurse, a candidate for New York City Council, wasn't impressed. She tweeted this out she quote tweeted the video of them being allowed for free into the subway and said, "We pay 10 million every month to pay about 120 private security guards to stand by and prevent fare evasion. I guess it's cool for homophobic white men who participated in a violent attempted coup against the nation to evade fare," which, it is a huge mission by New York to stop fare evaders if they are Black or if they are poor, and if they don't look a certain way or don't participate in white supremacist activities. You'll see them getting violently arrested for just jumping over the turnstile. Well, mind you, the police will just go back and forth without having to pay. But here's what happened at the drag story time from NBC News. The protesters carried signs that said, "Leave the kids alone and stop drag queen story hour," while counter protesters carried signs that read, "Drive homophobia away and libraries are for everyone." Like how the huge disparity between the messaging on those signs, by the way. Wonder which side is the good guys. But 3 council members say their homes were vandalized in connection with their support for the event. So here's a tweet from Eric Botcher, who's a New York City Council member, who said, "Tonight, the drag story hour protesters came to my apartment building and gained entry. My super called the cops and 2 of them were arrested for trespassing. This is pure hate, unmasked. If they think this is going to intimidate us, they're mistaken. Our resolve is strength." And you can see some of the messages, the hateful messages that they left for him, calling him a child predator and a groomer. Just disgusting. So here's the first one. Eric Botcher is a pedo child groomer. And some other messages here, they call him bitcher and some other variations of his name, okay groomer, you can see there. And it's so disturbing to me that these right-wingers have framed this in a way as they're trying to protect children, but they're willing to go to these events where children are present and get violent and get in kids' faces and in their parents' faces and make it hostile. I mean, we've seen armed white supremacist groups going into the libraries and intimidating the drag queens, the librarians, but also the children with guns. They'll call it bomb threats to these places where children are. So don't for 1 second let these assholes tell you that they are protecting children, because they are doing the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, I think the NYPD and the Transit Authority need to be a little careful about how they handle this, because I think part of how police funding and budgets stay at the level that they're at, and why these guys get to operate the way they do even when they're bad at their jobs, is that generally speaking, they have the trust and support of the citizenry. That's just a fact. Yes, there are very loud, vocal dissenters, but on the whole, people generally approve of what the cops are doing. And if they decide that they don't want to do their jobs anymore, they are going to lose that support. So that's one that I'll say for the cops, and two, what I'll say for these oath keepers or whatever the hell they're calling themselves these days is that I know people think that New York City is like this liberal bastion of hippies and pacifists. That is not true. That's not the case. These are real people. These are real blue collar, working class people. They don't play around about their kids. This stuff can get violent in a way that these people will not enjoy. So I know they think they can come with the cosplaying tough guys and they can bully people while they're out with their kids. This is not gonna work out the way that they think it is.